Hey guys, so we pretty much just wrapped up Investors Day and there's a bunch of new exciting things that Tesla's doing for their future plans. However, this time around they really focused on the next generation vehicles. As part of their master plan part 3, it's going to be 2 additional vehicles in the form of a van and a smaller version of a Model 3 sedan. And both of these, even when separated, is going to be double the manufacturing production of the Model 3 and Model Y combined. So it's definitely going to be a killer new segment to compete in. Definitely the van is going to work in favor of those running businesses, and that's going to contribute to a lot of the business side of things. So if you guys can imagine the Amazon trucks that are on the roads right now, Tesla then can take a part of that and make it part of their manufacturing growth. Now on the other side of things with the sedans, I know the Model 3s was supposed to be $35,000 when it started off, and to a lot of people that was on the cheaper side. However, it started creeping up to the point where it's unachievable. Now prices have come down a little bit, but it's still at that point where the mass majority of people are afraid of getting into a Tesla EV just because of their finances. So this is where the $25,000 EV is going to come out. I'm not sure if it's going to come out starting at $25,000. It could be less, could be more. But this is going to be one of those vehicles that is going to change the entire world of EVs. If you guys thought the Model 3 was it, this is going to be insane because this is going to double the capacity of the Model 3 and Y combined. It's going to be a lot cheaper, and there's a lot of things that Tesla is doing to make this vehicle a success. So being that these 2 vehicles are part of their future plans, there's also a bunch of other stuff they talked about as well that also makes Tesla even a bigger company. They highlighted the fact that the AI bot or Optimus is also in the works right now. And of course, there's also the Roadster in the background and the Semi and a bunch of other new products. I think they even hinted at the topic of a new EV boat and then also a new EV plane, but that's probably something that's way into the future that we don't really have to focus on right now. Matter of fact, the thing we should really focus on right now is the upcoming Cybertruck, and that's the exact topic we're going to be talking about in this video here. So the last couple of weeks, we've been getting a lot of sightings and leaks and really good juicy stuff out there on Instagram and on Twitter. However, we didn't get any official statement from Tesla themselves, but that has all changed because during Investors Day, Tesla highlighted and showcased their new Cybertruck. Now, a lot of people who've attended this event took a lot of good photos, and it looks like there has been some changes to the exterior that makes the vehicle that much more defined and that much more ready. I think a lot of people are getting overly excited about this and losing the fact that Tesla is working on a bunch of other products as well. But this being Investors Day and it's not a product launch, I think there are people out there that are really just looking at the stock prices and worrying too much about that and not about the upcoming product here. Now, I don't know if this is a niche product in other countries, but in North America, there are a lot of people that are waiting for the Cybertruck. It works very well for the trades side of things because you can just chuck stuff into the trunk and just haul it away without having to worry if it fits or not. So I think the vehicle sales for the Cybertruck alone is going to surpass a lot of other vehicles out there. Now, let's take a look at some of these images that were just taken a couple hours ago of the Cybertruck, and wow, take a look at the exterior, guys. Things have changed quite a bit. I mean, overall, it's still a Cybertruck, and that's what we love about it. But as you guys can see, the mirror has changed substantially. It came from the bulky design now into a more angular shape that we've seen in previous leaks. Originally, I thought that, hey, if I got a Cybertruck one day, I'm just going to remove the mirrors. And Tesla is even making this an option that customers can just take the mirrors off when they purchase the vehicle. Now, this is quite stupid because laws are forcing them to include the mirrors, and it's just part of regulation that you're going to have to go through. But if you guys imagine on the investor side of things, how much Tesla is losing in terms of having to install those mirrors. Every little part added up to hundreds of thousands or even millions of vehicles are going to add up to a substantial amount of money, and if they could just easily remove that mirror, it would have been the best for everyone. Now, originally it was sort of an eyesore, but now I think it looks part of the Cybertruck now, and it starts to look good. It gets to the point where maybe people don't even want to take it off because it looks that good. But I can't really say the same for the windshield wipers. At this point, Tesla is really modifying it to the point where it kind of fits in, but it still doesn't look the best. It's not too bad at this point. If you guys take a look at it, it does show that Tesla is doing some work to it compared to the old bulky version. I think they're just adding a couple little touches here and there and flair to it just so that it just blends in more with the angular shape of the overall truck. Maybe it's working, maybe it's not for a lot of people, but hopefully in the future they can find some kind of other method to make the windshield wiper work better. Maybe they can have a design that starts off from the bottom and swipes up so at least it's out of the view, or maybe they can have the laser vision where it can just beam off all the raindrops. I think that's actually part of their patents, but I don't think it has been implemented yet. Maybe in future vehicles. Now, if you guys take a look at the wheels, we do have the old or the new hubcaps. I don't even know at this point, but it looks wonderful. It looks super futuristic. Other than the original prototype that when the Cybertruck was announced with, it seems like every other shot we had of the Cybertruck was without this hub, or they were playing around with the different designs of the wheels. But none of them looked good except for this version right here. So it seems like Tesla's going back to their old design and putting this back on. It looks fantastic. I don't think this should be a hub to begin with. I think this should be the actual design. I don't know about aerodynamics, but I think because it's covered up, it would help in so many cases. I think if these rims made purely with aluminum or steel and painted black, it would look fantastic. And there's really no need to pull the hubcap ever off because it just looks so good with it on anyways. So maybe they can just add it as part of the overall design and forget about the spokes and the rims underneath. Anyways, now let's take a look at the interior. The interior looks fantastic. It always has looked fantastic, but it looks a little bit more refined as I've mentioned. I know I'm just nitpicking here, but just taking a look at the overall interior design, you guys will see that the kick plate or the step pad, it will say Cybertruck at the bottom now. Hopefully that stays because that is a really nice design. And if you just take a look up to the left a little bit, you will see that the new lumbar adjuster or support button is now angular. It's sort of squared out, so it looks more in line with the Cybertruck design. And the same goes for the steering wheel as well. No longer are we seeing the yoke. The yoke really never made sense because it really was there just so that it doesn't obstruct the view of the instrument cluster, but with the Cybertruck and no instrument cluster, it doesn't make sense at all. So the wheel came back, and I think that's an overall great choice. When you're going off-roading, you really don't want to guess where your next hand placement is going to be. You just want to make sure that the wheel is there each and every single time. But they did really funk it up a little bit more, and they cut the top half a little bit here, and it looks like a squared off design. Overall, I think it looks really nice. I think they're really just going for an overall theme right here at this point, and I think it's really, really working. And of course, with everything in the interior, they're just going for a really simplistic design overall, and it's really working. I think a couple ambient lighting here and there would really just change the overall look of it. But I pretty much say that with every single vehicle, and I really wished every other vehicle has proper ambient lighting at this point in 2023. Alright, so with me briefly going over the interior and exterior, there's something else that I do want to mention, and this has to do with the Investors Day's presentation just a couple hours ago. So they had a point where they were showing the reduction of parts inside of the vehicles, especially the wiring system and controllers. So the fact that they reduced 85% of third-party controllers at this point is a really great move, and by the next gen vehicle, they're going to remove pretty much 100% of third-party controllers and everything is going to be in-house. Now, although that is really nice, that isn't really the point I'm trying to get to here. Now, when Tesla showed the X-ray images of the Cybertruck alongside other vehicles with their wiring system, it showed all the controllers, it showed all the major important pieces like the sensors and the camera system and the MCU. Now, red means that it is an endpoint of the wiring system and it's connected to some physical sensor, and it looks here that there is two radar at the back of the Cybertruck. Now, I'm not sure 100% if it's a radar or not, but it looks like in the shape of a radar. And then when you compare it to other vehicles right now, which doesn't have the radar, and that's pretty much confirmed at this point, it seems like the Cybertruck is really showing off that it has two rear-facing radar for cross traffic. Now, I'm not sure about the implementation of this, why they're so close together, but it could be for various reasons. It could be a failsafe, a backup radar in case the other one fails. It could be one short range, one long range, one detailed, and one non-detailed. And the fact that it's even rear-facing radar gives us a lot of hope that other vehicles like the Model S, X, 3 and Y is also going to have rear-facing radar as well. So thanks to this X-ray alone, I think we got a gist of what the hardware 4 is going to be like in future videos. So just because of the X-ray of the Cybertruck, we finally got a hint of what maybe hardware 4 is going to be like in future vehicles. We're likely going to hear more about this down the line when hardware 4 goes into production, but this is a good glimpse, and this is what we're seeing with the Cybertruck right now. And overall, I'm sure you guys are excited as I am. Now, they've reiterated a few times that they're pretty much ready at this point, and production is set to go by summer and fall of this year. So the Cybertruck is going to be on the roads by the end of this year, guys. So we're all super stoked. So anyways, guys, this is just a brief little update right after the event. If I've missed anything else, please let me know in the comments below. But this should wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, you know what to do. This is John once again. Peace out.